Hi, I'm doing a scrapbook layout today called Soccer Girl. This is a layout that I had in my head for quite some time and actually wrote about it on my blog and had to write it down in my journal because it was one of those things that was just trapped in my head and I needed to get it out, but I couldn't get in my scrapbook room to actually do it, so I just had to put it in my head. This year my daughter played soccer for the first time and her shirt was a neon green color. I don't have a lot of neon colors in my collection, so I had to get some new neon pink and green things to add to my stash so I could scrapbook this. I also didn't have a lot of hexagon shaped things, so that's another thing I added. I got this at Tuesday morning, and then I also picked up a punch in a hexagon shape. Just putting a little gesso on my paper because I know I'm going to be doing some mixed media with this layout. So I'm just spreading that out, and then I'll be using some different inks to do the packaging technique and smush some pink and green and splatters on the page. This was my youngest first time trying soccer, and she liked it, and she actually signed up for a fall session, so she'll be starting again in September. I'm going to use some modeling paste and smush it through this honeycomb to give a little bit of a soccer ball type effect in the background. I really like how this layout ends up at the end. So I'm in a little bit of dilemma now in my scrapbooking days. I pretty much always printed my pictures using my Canon Selphy at home, and I run a daycare, and so sometimes I like to bring the Canon Selphy to daycare to actually print off pictures of the kids and use them for projects and such. Well, one of my little darlings decided that they needed to help the paper come out of the printer, even though, this isn't the first time that I've brought the printer to daycare. It shouldn't have been that fascinating, but they decided that they needed to help it out of the printer and therefore broke the feeding mechanism in the printer, and so it no longer will recognize that the ink cartridge has any ink on it, etc. So now I'm in the market for a new home printer, and I just, the Canon Selphy is about half the price of the Epson PhotoSmart, but I like the fact that an Epson PhotoSmart can print in 5x7, so I'm hesitant to buying something because I don't know if I want to just upgrade and get the Epson that can print larger prints, or if I want to not do that. So I've put it on Facebook. I have some input from some of you. I still just haven't decided what I'm going to do. Yeah, I really like how this, doing the packaging technique over the texture of the hexagon, the beehive texture. I really like how that's looking. And the colors aren't like super neon. So yeah, I'm really liking it. And then I think I'm going to use some black as my accent. Yep, there's some black Dylusion ink that I'm using just as another accent. I have many more ideas I need to get out here. Here's my hexagon punch. And this really fancy glitter paper that I didn't have in my collection. It's really not my color, but it works out great for this layout. And some pink glitter paper. It's really hard to punch, by the way. That's nice thick paper, and punching it used some muscles. I just wanted these to kind of accentuate that hexagon shape. And I'm kind of feeling like the picture's getting lost a little bit. So I have to I end up backing the picture and making it a little more standing out from the rest of the page. And that is not tissue paper. That is actually some leftover tracing paper from the layout I did right before this one. And I kind of just cut 2 squares and put them a little bit off center when I glued them together, and then used a lot of these Stampin' Up! Adhesive foam dots to lift the picture up off the paper. I'd really like to find some of that sticky backed foam, but I just haven't found it yet. I have limited resources where I live, so, and I don't always remember when I am by places that I forget to look for things. So yeah, I'm just randomly placing these hexagons. I wanted them to all be going in the same direction. So that was really the only real criteria, not to have all the pinks together, all the greens together, to kind of spread them out the whole side of the page. Smush it down. I'd like everyone to notice that I remembered to use my protective sheet when I did all this mixed media, protect my mat. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I go into my wood veneer stash and I'm looking for, I knew I had some kind of hexagon shape wood veneer or cork or something, and so I found out there's my husband's old fishing lure box. That's why it says Shimano on it. That's a brand of reel and rod and things. And then here are the hexagons that I remember having in there. And then through my digging I find the cork ones as well. So yeah. So I decided I want to make these hexagons a black color. And my darling children have taken pretty much every bottle of acrylic paint that I own, and they have used it to color their slime. I don't know if any of you have children that are into the slime making stuff, but I tell you what, they have taken a toll on my stockpile as far as my mixed media goes. Luckily, they know better than to touch any of my inks, because I'm sure they would be great dyes for their slime. However, they would probably lose a finger. I'm just kidding. But no, they know better. However, I let them use the acrylic paint, and now I have none. So I'm using the ink to color these different hexagons, the cork and the wood, and they take quite a few layers. So I don't really want them to be like a charcoal gray. I want them to be black. So it takes a little while, and they're hard to dry because they want to fly all over the place. But make it happen. Get it done. And I do not know why my picture is so out of frame, but it is, and I'm sorry for that. I believe I correct it soon, so hopefully it'll come back into view. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the black accents are looking nice. I'm using my Tombow Mono adhesive to attach them. That's my favorite wet adhesive for things like cork and chipboard and foam and things like that. Otherwise, I'm pretty much an ATG girl all the time. So in a few weeks here, we'll find out what color my youngest's jersey will be for this year. We'll see what kind of colors I need to add to my collection to scrapbook some fall soccer pictures. They have some cousins that are older now. They're in their early 20s that played soccer all through probably elementary school all the way up through high school. I'm wondering maybe that's where she got this desire from. None of the 2 older girls, they never played soccer. It was one sport they didn't try. My middle is actually going out for swim team this year. She's going into 6th grade, so we'll see if she likes that. And her favorite color happens to be this lime green, so maybe I can use some of these things I bought. Love these stickers. I don't remember what they're called, but I love them. I love their shape. I like how big they are. I always feel like that S is upside down, but I don't know. I don't think I flip it. I think I leave it like that. I like the mix of uppercase and lowercase. I always want to spell soccer with an OR, but I know it's an ER. I'm not the best speller. I have to look to my oldest as my spell checker sometimes. I don't know where she got that from. I am not a speller. My husband is not a speller. She does spelling bees. She does well. I don't know. Good for her. So yeah, I'm going to title this Soccer Girl. Not sure what I'm doing right now. What happened? Distracted by something. Oh, I was looking for some smaller letters to write because soccer wouldn't fit. That's right. So I went looking for some smaller letters to write soccer. These are basic gray, or no, not basic gray, October Afternoon letters. Wish that company was still around. I like their letter stickers. I like a lot of their stuff. But they're not. Coming to the end here. Put the title on, then I'll do a little bit of journaling, and then I have some still shots at the end. And then something kind of funny happened when I was cleaning up after doing this layout. When I went to go put my coffee cup in the sink, and I have a picture of that at the end. It's totally a scrapbooker's problem. Oh right, I got these little. I forgot it. I got these little glitter glues, kind of along the lines of a Nuvo dot, but it's not a Nuvo dot. It's just some stickles type, but it's not even stickles either. I got glittered green, neon green, and a bright pink, just for a little sparkle. You'll see it in the close-up. Then I used some enamel dots to get a little more black into the layout. I think they're actually a matte finish, which is, I kind of like that look. These microns are kind of my favorite journaling pen. Sometimes. When they start to run out of ink, I don't like them. But when they're all inked up and new, I really like them for journaling. I love all pens. I like to collect pens. There we go. Thanks for watching.